Art Lift has been a fantastically exciting and new project which we've been very pleased to have been involved in. It not only was a great source of publicity for the show, but a wonderful project in itself to turn a seemingly mundane, dull lift that's usually full of pretty uninteresting advertising into an interesting art space, and which then forces people who might not otherwise look at art, consider art, and in this case come to our show. This is an installation entitled I Am, spelt E-Y-E, am, because it's centered on the eyes, and eyes are a huge part of this piece because they communicate the different emotions I'm trying to convey. This is a large installation of faces exploring emotion expressed through very particular expressions that I've captured using the camera, photographing instances in films that I freeze frame until I find the exact expression that captures a particular emotion. And then they all work together as a conversational piece, with the back of the head as the sort of final full stop to that conversation.
When I was actually writing my dissertation, I read quite Deleuze's book. He's a French philosopher, and he talks about this idea called rhizome, which is basically the root of the plant, just growing underneath, underground basically. So it's got no middle point, it just keeps expanding underground. That was the sort of beginning I had, that's the starting point I had. I just wanted to have sort of expanding idea without boundaries. And that's what I wanted to achieve actually. I wanted to reveal something underneath. Like whatever it is, your skin or your boundaries, your race, or whatever it is, just I want to reveal something underneath. And that's basically, to sum up, that's what my work is about.
Keep clear, doors closing.
All my interest lies in between life and death, absence and presence. And we're always that close to life and death at any time, so this is a sort of meditation upon that. And it's kind of personal as well, especially the piece on the left. Someone close to me died of a failed heart transplant, and so this is sort of, in a way, it's a kind of cathartic painting as well, because it deals with life and rebirth and resurrection.
I've been travelling up to Lapland for the last sort of 8 years. Lapland in Finland. Being half Finnish, that's the sort of drawing back to the sort of motherland almost. And my experiences from up there have always kind of inspired me. Or one trip particularly was the sort of starting point. It was a 2001 New Year's Eve. I was up in Lapland and celebrating the stroke of midnight, and the Northern Lights appeared, and after that I was constantly looking up into the sky, and the blue light that you find there was something that kind of captured my imagination. And 8 years on, I'm still sort of exploring these ideas of the sublime, but this is a new phase where I'm actually exploring paint as well, using various levels of transparency and pigments. I'm working to kind of develop this kind of layering, so you have a kind of mystical experience as well.
Reason being, my mate just had his own thing there. Alex Goff, that's who you want to buy. But I did just see that.
No. Okay, so this is some of the work I've been doing this year, and it's focusing on birds. The birds that I've put in this show have been all birds that I've watched myself, including owls and warblers and pipits and firecrest. And I think the point I'm trying to get to is that birds are incredibly beautiful and incredibly fun and very positive elements in all our lives.
Chambers. These are drawings. These are all my drawings. I basically start by drawing a straight line and then repeat the line until the shape contorts or a form comes into existence, really. So it's about repetition and endurance, and I guess part of it seems like illusion, but really they're about creating something out of nothing by just repeating something very simple, like a line.
The piece is titled Seeped in History, and the idea that all this kind of self-checking and self-regulating and sweet talk and all niceness and politeness, that everyone is constantly veiling themselves with and being quite kind of cautious and keeping a kind of stiff upper lip and a straight wall about it, has reached absolute saturation point and started to push through from behind and seeping back into the space. And it's the ugly, slow seeping return. And it's something which you initially attracted to, that kind of, that it's like the horror of a car crash, that you can't look, you know you shouldn't look, but you can't look away. I was a minister's daughter, and constantly being very well behaved and self-regulating and making sure I do things right and don't step on people's toes and try and do well by everybody else is a very tiring place to be. And so just to kind of put that aside sometimes is really nice.
Where we're meant to be, skim reading the scenery, floating with